Kim Wagana.
You look so pretty.
Yeah. Hey Slayers, I hope you guys are fabulous. I know I am. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. My name is Tumi and this is Young, Broke and Fabulous. So if it's your first time here, please do subscribe. So today I'm going to be specifically talking about mental health during this pandemic, my journey, how I've dealt with it, and answering some questions that I've gotten in my inbox and from the poll that I put up today. Don't forget to like this video, comment if you have any questions, if you'd like me to do a part 2 on the video or talk about other things mental health, please do put it in the comment section. So yeah, let's get into the video. So the first question I got was, how has lockdown affected my mental health? The reason why I'm doing this whole video anyway is because I want to address the stress and how the lockdown period and the pandemic really affected everyone mentally, and that's because it affected me very negatively mentally. The reason why I think it affected me very negatively, firstly, it was the uncertainty. The at the start of lockdown, there was that kind of definite period that, okay, it's going to be the 21 days plus 15 days, cool, that was fine. But then when the stages were the stages were introduced, that kind of threw me off, because it was like, okay, how do I gauge when things will be back to normal? Because I'm someone that depends a lot on structure, and when there's no structure, then I struggle to find a balance and I struggle to find my feet. So now what affected me a lot was because we had to work from home, we had to do everything from home. So basically we had to exercise from home, you had to spend restful time at home, you had to work at home, so everything was being done in one box. And I work better if there are different boxes for everything. So for resting and me time and family time, that's what my home is for. For exercising and things, that's what gym for work and all of that, that's what the office for. But now during lockdown, it became one thing, which became very toxic for me. And it's not that there's anything toxic in my house, like what became toxic for me is that I couldn't differentiate between the different times. So one thing overlapped too much into the other. Like maybe I'll be working till 8 p.m. whereas if I went to work by 6, I'm home and I'm able to focus on other things. I'm able to gym. So you know, guys, how when it started, we were cooking, we were doing things we were looking forward to. Like, it was an excellent time to try new hobbies, to try new recipes, to just try do something different. And that's what we did, until we're like, but how long are we gonna do this for? Because this is not actually what's normal for us. As I was saying, my laptop, my camera ran out of space, but to proceed from where I was, and my lips are better now. Oh, sorry, I had to wash my dry lips for 3 minutes. Anyway, so I was talking about, I think the point where everyone started feeling all down and depressed and less optimistic was when we were now told that this thing will be in stages. So that's where the uncertainty really settled in, and the numbers rising was also a big thing. Now people were constantly sharing the numbers getting bad, and then birthdays were getting cancelled, and there by June it looked like it would be positive again, and it didn't. So I think for me, that uncertainty and that the lack of balance is what caused my downfall during this lockdown. So I started comfort eating. So this was my defense mechanism right now. This time around, I started comfort eating until I gained like 14 kgs. But I'm just making an example of one indicator that I was actually depressed. The rate in which I was eating, like I would eat and not stop, and I couldn't stop because I was constantly hungry and I was feeling a hole that's unfeelable. So that's how lockdown kind of affected my mental state. And from the conversations that I've had, I think that's what affected most of the people that got affected by this. Do I take any medication that helps with my mental state? Like anxiety. So anxiety is one of the symptoms of my mental illness, but it's not something I constantly have. So I do take medication, chronic medication, for my bipolar disorder. But when I'm experiencing periods of heavy anxiety and stuff, I'll take over-the-counter medication. Like I take Calmeds. Guys, somebody, when I posted this on my stories, and someone came in my inbox and asked if they're safe to drink while you're pregnant and stuff. I suggest you go to your pharmacist and ask, because it's over-the-counter medication. You can actually go ask your pharmacist and you can buy the medication. But I would recommend that you just don't take my word for it, and ask and speak to the actual pharmacist and see if it helps you. But I know a lot of people that take it, like sometimes I'll give it to my husband. A lot of people just take it to handle anxiety. It calms you down, and even if you can't sleep at night, they have a version for nighttime. It's not a long-term solution for if you're someone like me and you have a chronic mental illness, then you would have like your medication that's for long-term use. So how have I managed? Because I've admitted that I did actually get affected negatively mentally by this. So I've only started managing now, like towards level 2, the end of level 3 to level 2. So one thing that I implemented that I'm still trying to be disciplined with is exercising in the mornings. So exercising doesn't have to be a hectic, guys. Just getting out of the house, walking for 20 minutes, that counts as exercise. It gets your blood flowing. It takes out those kind of positive chemicals in your brain, so that helps. And kind of establishing a routine, so making sure that you wake up at a certain time every day to do that exercise, making sure that you have a list of your tasks for the day. So we have like a task tracker at work, but I also always write down on my own notepad what I need to do for myself or in the house, and add on to what I need to do for work, so that I know for the hours of work I will do this. And then once it's time to knock off, obviously it's different now that it's locked down, there's no knocking off time, but I've tried to maintain the balance as much as possible on days that there's not a lot of work. So I try to be very disciplined with that, and by doing that, then I can go into resting, into watching TV, or into editing my videos for YouTube. That has actually added on to my work, and I'm feeling more tired. But I've tried to schedule it in such a way that I don't have to stress about it for a whole week. I know I'll edit on Sunday, not today obviously, because I'm going to be editing on a Monday, but I'll edit on a Sunday. Then I know on Tuesday my video will be up. So I'm kind of speaking to having a specific task list and a specific kind of timetable for every day that you follow. Once you fall into a routine, you will see that you become less stressed. You become less stressed because you are not subliminally trying to figure everything out in your head. Once everything is written down, your mind doesn't have to be focused on kinda what do I still have to do, kinda what do I still have to do. So that's another thing that I've implemented. Another thing is I've cut out the unhealthy food that I was consuming. Last weekend, I won't lie, because it was my birthday weekend and stuff, I kind of overindulged, and that caused me to be very unhappy for a short while. But I was like, I need to snap out of it, because if I don't snap out of it, I'm gonna end up at the same place where I'm overeating, and I'm just eating my emotions away. So that's another thing, eating healthy, making sure you prep your meals, or make sure that you have specific times to put in the times you need to eat, because these things get away from you. You end up forgetting. Like, I'll work the whole day and forget that I actually had to eat. But by the time I need to eat, I'm so hungry that my option will be the quickest and most unhealthy food, because my body is just craving every and anything. Another thing that you can use to cope, starting if you're a Christian, is reading Bible plans. If you have the Bible app, they have so many plans that you can read to deal with what you are going through at that time. I mostly will read anxiety plans to help me with anxiety, plans to reassure me, plans to plans to reassure me, plans that will help me with my anxiety, plans to just kind of be one with God and so forth. So that has helped me a lot. Another one that I swear by, I've spoken about it, I'm going to also link the video, is being deliberately positive. So every morning when you wake up, tell yourself in your mind that today is going to be a positive day. Even write it down. Write down 5 things that you are positive for every day. There's something that is good that's happening that you can be grateful for. So write down the things that you're grateful for, because once you adopt these good habits, they start being part of your life, and you start feeling so much better. You see, the more you stick to the little goals that you put, and the more you focus on the positives in life, then you see your depression or your anxiety start to melt away. Another big thing that has helped me with my anxiety, yes, I still struggle with it, because it's my personality flaw, my personality flaw. I struggle a lot with control, so I focus a lot on, I try to control everything. So I'm that person who wants to know that, okay, this I can do, I am in control of 1 2 3. So if I don't have control, it just messes up with my mental state. So what I've learned to do is, don't focus on things that you cannot control. That's the biggest thing you can do for yourself. Don't focus on other people's actions. That's already you focusing on things you can't control. Don't focus too much on what my boss is gonna say tomorrow, what's gonna this. Take it a day at a time, because if you are always anticipating things and you are always trying to figure out so now you're stressing about, oh, what's Cyril gonna say on Sunday, you're trying to figure it out. It's beyond your means. It's like being in an exam and trying to answer a question that you don't know. It will just stress you out and make you forget all the other answers that you do know. So try your best to not focus on things that you cannot control. And then another top tip from myself that has helped me deal with this whole thing, and guys, you can come at me, because a lot of people will be like, oh, you're so negative, you are so what do you call this, ignorant for not following the news and stuff. And I'm like, me following the news just means I'm constantly feeding myself with the negatives that are going on in life, and I don't want to carry the stress of the world on my shoulders when I know I have such a fragile mental state. So I even friends that are always posting about things going wrong in the world, I politely just mute them. I just mute your statuses. It's fine. And it's fine to do that. If they ask you, you'll tell them, like, your statuses are not positive for my mental state. Like, how am I gonna be positive when in the morning I open your status and I'm already reminded of everything that's going wrong in the world? And I choose to not be that person. I don't want to I don't want to be talking about what's going wrong in the world. I want to be in a space where it's positive. I don't want to be talking about negative things, because at the end of the day, what I've realized, I'm 25 now, what I've realized is there's always going to be something going wrong somewhere. Cut out triggers. So if you need to be muting people, blocking people, do that if it helps your mental state. And be with people that are positive, man. Like, being with family really did wonders for me. And yeah, that's that on that for me, guys. This thing is gonna end. I'm telling myself it's gonna end eventually. There's gonna be a time where this is just a story, like where we're just going back and being like, remember when we couldn't do this because the Coco V was taking over. But for now, just stay positive. Try your best to not focus too much on the numbers and stuff. It's beyond your control. Focus on things that you can control, on things that nourish you, on things that are positive for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was helpful. Bye.